Alright. Don't need any directions. I've been to that place before. I'm not afraid to go back. Sir Flowers traveled all the way there until he arrived. Just the near look of it reminded him on how Or died. He remembered that she went there and never came back. Come on, Sir Flowers, you can do this. You can do this. Just go in there, find out who has the Moonstone and Sun Drop, and come right back. When Sir Flowers was turned to his human form, he instantly started looking around. He was captured by the royal guard and then brought to the king and queen. After explaining everything to them, they allowed him to stay. And he actually had a place in their castle. He was pretending to be very grateful and all that stuff. As long as he didn't turn to his Umugi form, Corona had no intention on killing him. Okay. So far, so good. You made it in pretty easily. Now to find the person who has the Moonstone or the Sun Drop. But I can't let the Fire Emoji get both, so I had to find both of them. If I can't find both of them at the same time, then I'll have to find one of them. I'll have to find, rather, one first, then find the other one later. You can do this. You've done solo missions before. You can do this. He started looking around for a little bit. He was also given the chore around the kingdom, but he still knew about the kingdom. But still, a tour wouldn't mind or hurt. That way he can try to trick the guards on when he has the Moonstone and Sun Drop and gets out of there. That's all he has to do. So, and plus he needs to get to know the people around here. After the tour, Sir Flowers was looking around and saw that no one smelled or even looked like that they had the Moonstone or Sun Drop. So he just kept on looking. Kept on looking and looking and looking until he found one person that might had the one of them. Rather the Moonstone or the Sun Drop. And it was the princess of Corona. She went by the name of Rapunzel. Rapunzel definitely looked like she had the Sun Drop or Moonstone at some point, but then sort of looked like she lost it or forgot about it. So Sir Flowers decided to keep an eye on her, just in case she might be hiding it. So one night, Rapunzel actually decided to go sneak out for a little bit. So Flowers was falling right behind her. Rapunzel didn't even knew that there was a new guy in town. But he sneakily and quietly followed her and Cassandra, what it looks like. He kept on following them until they were out of the kingdom. He still followed them. It wasn't until they noticed the giant snake tracks outside of the kingdom. Sir Flowers forgot to cover that up. Cass, is it really a snake that big? Well, I only heard about it in legends, but I'm not sure if it's true or not, but there's a giant snake that goes by the name of Imugi, and they turn to a celestial dragon. At least that's what I heard within the legends. Interesting. A giant snake that turns into a dragon? It happens every 500 years, when one Imugi is rewarded for its good deeds, with a chance to become a celestial dragon. Cassandra explained everything about the history of the Imugis and the celestial dragons. Not knowing that Sir Flowers was actually right behind them. It wasn't until Rapunzel and Cassandra found black rocks and mysteriously gave Rapunzel her hair back. Sir Flowers was looking around to see if the sun drop formed into a stone, because if it did, then it'll be a lot more easier for him. If not, then he'll have to grab Rapunzel, tie her up, and take her back to Atlas and figure out how to get the powers out of her. That's what he'll have to do for now, if that doesn't work. If there is no stone to grab. When they arrived to the kingdom, it still didn't look like there was no stone at all. So this was making things a little bit more difficult for Sir Flowers than he originally thought. For the next 3 months, Super Flowers tried everything to figure out if Rapunzel had the stone or not. And it still didn't look like she had the stone. The sun drop would usually form into a shape, into a stone, so that way way, if he needs to be grabbed by someone or something, it can be grabbed like that, besides just taking the whole person and draining the power out of them. But for now, it didn't look like there was no stone at all. Sir Flowers was left to rather take Rapunzel or drain the power out of her. He was left with a very, very difficult choice. This is becoming a bit more difficult than I thought. We're waiting for 3 months and nothing's happening. There's no stone, no nothing. I am losing my patience by the moment. And I'd rather end up taking Rapunzel myself or drain the power out of her. For the past 3 months, Sir Flowers has been texting his friends and telling them everything. They were quite disappointed. They knew that Sir Flowers was not lying, that Rapunzel actually does have the sun drop, but it didn't look like she actually had the stone. And they were at the road of wanting to come over there and help, but Sir Flowers kept on telling them to stay there. To stay at Atlas, so that way it would be easier. But everything started to change one day after a battle happened, and Rapunzel was off to go find the moonstone, which was perfect. If he can find the location of the moonstone, he'll have no problem on taking both at the same time. But what he didn't know was that there was a spy. Someone secretly was tagging along with Sir Flowers. Someone unfriendly. And that someone is David. He was secretly following Sir Flowers, Wars and the others. He kept on sending reports back to the base. But it was still not helping.